Synthetic telepathy is used to describe the process of brain-computer interfaces by which human thoughts are intercepted, processed, and a return signal is generated. This synthetic return signal is able to be communicated and perceived by the human brain, and that information can potentially be read through other interfaces. This is not new technology. Since 1974, patents are on record for generating an apparatus that outlines the method of remotely monitoring and altering brainwaves. Although clearly synthetic telepathy technology could be implemented for serving humanitarian purposes, due to the severe abuses of technology in the hands of criminal psychopaths, both human and non-human, synthetic telepathy is a tool easily converted for mass mind control. Synthetic telepathy in passive reception is the ability to read a signal emitted from a targeted person without first broadcasting a signal. The human brain emits electromagnetic patterns, which can be received at a distance, and the distance is determined by the sensitivity of the sensor or receiver and the bandwidth required. Bring to mind the required bandwidth inherent in the Internet of Things and 5G wireless. Synthetic telepathy in active reception is sending an active signal to directly interfere with the brain's modulation of frequencies, which obviously alters or modifies behavior, and potentially can result in many other detrimental side effects. When a computer network is connected in order to interpret the signals coming from human brains, the program compares the signals being read against a database of signals. Using metadata from brain mapping, it interprets the signals' meanings to provide a range of statistical analysis in which to instigate frequency-following responses via the spectrum of electromagnetic frequencies. The artificial intelligence network in advanced computing systems then can arrive at a broadcast signal that is deemed appropriate to its agenda and could possibly even project holographic images, mental impressions, sounds, and other artifacts. In military application, to subdue an enemy, the obvious use is to read and write information into the internal monologue of the targeted person or group, possibly sensing and sending the range of signals to the brain to induce an altered state, such as through hypnotic suggestions, hallucinations, and mind wiping for strengthening amnesiac barriers. Synthetic telepathy does not probe the mind to retrieve and extract details of the buried memories of the past, but provides the ability to read the internal monologue or surface self-talk, in which the subject may voice their memories and cross-reference that with their current emotional state. In other words, the success of synthetic telepathy as an intelligence-gathering tool is based upon basic psychological manipulation, whereby there is engaged a silent and passive monitoring of the internal monologue over a long time period, which is an effective method of intelligence gathering. This type of synthetic telepathy can be implemented for crowd or riot control by generating impulses that are essentially common to all humans, resulting in the dispersion of crowds or a willingness to cooperate with authorities. Synthetic telepathy as a psychotronic weapon. Synthetic telepathy scanners and biosensor technology has already been implemented as a psychotronic weapon for many years. One such method is through the unethical human experimentation that has taken place covertly by assorted black operations in MyLabs and in secret space programs. Obviously, the negative aliens that intend to enslave Earth humans developed synthetic telepathy, frequency fences, and related psychotronic weapons many thousands of years ago, and handed some of these technologies to the Black Sun Nazis during World War II. Hence, the Black Sun bases and ships have integrated the use of synthetic telepathy technologies as a way of life when interfacing with artificial intelligence networks or other technologies that are commonly used by the base inhabitants. Synthetic telepathy is the biosensor technology paired with voice-to-skull technology being used by psychopathic criminal humans and non-humans to assault, threaten, and take control of targeted individuals. Synthetic telepathy sensors are the mode for scanning the entire body and brain waves for personality profiling, gaining access to the surface mental dialogue and emotional patterns through the recorded EEG signals. Frequencies that act as a voice-to-skull carrier are transmitted in a range or spectrum of frequencies that hop around the frequency band, making them generally undetectable as a coherent and readable signal. Instead, the spread of frequencies would just appear as static noises. Many people's accounts are similar in that the targeted person hears condescending voices making direct commands to them, or a group of people talking in their head, usually harassing them with insults or pushing them to commit suicide. The challenge in determining voices in a person's head is that this can be technologically induced by these covert human experiments, or it can be the result of spiritual trauma that has resulted in multiple personality possession, whereby bona fide demonic entities or aliens are involved in the mental and physical torture of the afflicted person. Synthetic telepathy and remote neural monitoring are two sides of the same coin. Remote neural monitoring is a form of functional neuroimaging, claimed to have been developed by the National Security Agency, or NSA, that is capable of extracting EEG data from the human brain at a distance with no physical contact or electrodes required. It is further claimed that the NSA has the capability to decode this data to extract sub-vocalizations, visual and auditory data from their target. In effect, it allows access to a person's thoughts without their knowledge or permission. Collecting massive amounts of personal data from the population allows them to feed back this information into quantum computers, which produce schematics for understanding the collective consciousness. Breaking this down to deeply analyze special interest groups, as well as formulate predictive types of programming designed to influence and modify human behavior based on external perception or direct stimulus, Remote neural monitoring also has its roots in unethical human experimentation that was first developed and carried out by the Black Sun Nazi groups. These groups were directly involved in satanic rituals and offerings to conjure dark forces, and they were contacted by one of the negative alien factions that assisted them by giving them ships and the technology to colonize bases off-planet. This was convenient for the galactic slave trade. The Black Sun mind control testing schemes are actually satanic ritual abuse methods taken from the black magic occult information, or Ordo Templi Orientis. These methods were scientifically reproduced in the infamous MK Ultra trials and in subsequent mind programming agendas used to control public figures, military personnel, intelligence assets, and beyond.